ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यं करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुवन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। You can close the doors. Shloka number 13, 5th chapter. अथ पंचमोऽध्यायः। श्रीभगवानुवाच सर्वकर्माणि मनसा सन्न्यस्यास्ते सुखं वशी नवद्वारे पुरे देहि नैव कुर्वन्न कारयन् न कर्तृत्वं न कर्माणि लोकस्य सृजति प्रभुः न कर्म लोकस्य सृजति प्रभुः न कर्मफलसंयोगम् स्वभावस्तु प्रवर्तते. So we have seen that Prabhuhu, the self, kartrutvam na srujati. It does not create any doership in others. Means it does not have indirect doership. In Sanskrit it is called karayitrutvam. Making others do. That really does not belong to Atma. Na karmani srujati. Atma does not create any object, means direct doership is not there. And na karma phala sanyogam. This Atma does not create association of anyone with the result of karma. Means bhojayitrutvam is not there. Then what happens? How the activities are happening? Swabhavaha, Maya. Innate nature of things, pravartate, operates. So, like electricity is the same in all gadgets, but depending upon the nature of that gadget, activity happens. Electricity itself does not have kartrutvam or does not have any activity, but in its presence, activities happen, depending upon the nature of the gadget. Similarly, depending upon the nature of the upadhi, this upadhi means the body mind sense complex will act. Hands will move, eyes will see, ears will hear, depending upon the nature of upadhi, which is the nature of Maya. So Maya through different upadhi pravartate, he operates. Atma is akarta. So we had seen that there are 4 wrong conclusions one can have about oneself in this context. One is I am doing action. I Atma am doing action. Kartrutva Bhranti, delusion of doership. Second is Karayitrutva Bhranti. I am making these people do. I am the cause of action, cause of the doership in others. Third is I am experiencing pleasure and pain, Bhoktrutva. And the fourth one is I am going to punish them. I will make them suffer. I will make them enjoy. That is Bhojayitrutva. These are the 4 delusions one can have about oneself. And because of this, samsara is there. How samsara is there? When I consider myself to be karta, then I will have guilt, arrogance. And when arrogance comes, the fall starts. Any arrogance will finally lead to fall. So this kartrutvam either causes arrogance or causes guilt. That is samsara. Karayitrutvam, considering myself to be the cause of making people act. When I assume that responsibility, I have to make them behave in this manner. When I consider myself to be that type of karayita, then you have got sense of helplessness. People will say, Swamiji, my subordinates do not listen to me. Almost every boss has got this complaint. Swamiji, people don't listen to. One person was telling Swamiji, they time it, that we work from this time to this time, but they don't work. So what to do, Swamiji? People are not sincere. They don't work sincerely. Because you consider yourself to be the cause of making them act, and therefore you feel helpless. And you consider yourself to be bhokta. Now I am enjoying this. Now I am suffering this. And therefore you have constant struggle to get pleasure and constant struggle to avoid unhappiness. And you find yourself to be helpless in that. You want to avoid misery, but you find yourself every now and then in misery. You want to have happiness, but every now and then obstacles are there in happiness. You plan a nice trip and it rains. The Kodaikanal stopped, closed, all roads closed. So every now and then your plan for pleasure is obstructed, and your the attempt to avoid misery, it happens. In fact, sometimes people are so obsessed with avoidance of misery that they end up exactly in that what they want to avoid. So sometimes people are so, I don't want to fall sick, I don't want to fall sick, I will fall sick, so I don't want to fall sick. That thought itself makes them sick. So don't get obsessed with the thought of the avoidance of something so much. More you try, then somehow you are indirectly inviting. Therefore you can be prayerful. But be obsessed with that. This will happen. COVID will happen. This will happen. That what now Mpox something. What has come? The monkey something has happened. Some particular what is that disease?
Monkeypox.
Monkeypox. So they say there is one more. That is international plan to threaten people. So COVID time we all threatened, and still we are not very sure that what all we did was right. We are not very sure what all precautionary measures we took and all this really it was necessary or simply we are fooled or all this we don't know. And now one more thing is coming up, they say. So monkeypox, now already there's be careful, and in Bangalore already there is a directives that if they come from African country they will be quarantined for 21 days or something already. So now why this monkeypox? So monkey has already entered into your head. So that you try, still you find yourself in that. And therefore these 4 things, kartrutva, karayitrutva, bhoktrutva, bhojayitrutva, this notion about myself keeps me in samsara, bondage. Bondage means what? Keep struggling to become somebody. And that will be removed by Dhanam. Jnanam will remove all these four wrong notions. But before Jnanam does that job, my sense of doership should be little bit diluted. It is something like the nut bolt is to be unbolted by the spanner. But spanner can do its job only when it is relatively loose. If it is too tight, spanner also cannot do it. So what you have to do, you have to put some kerosene or something to make it little handleable. Similarly, this Kartrutva notion can be handled by Jnanam only when you have diluted it. How do you dilute your Kartrutvam, sense of doership? First of all, in every action you do, you appreciate the grace of Ishvara. By the grace of Ishvara alone, all activities are possible. Another thing is, you see yourself to be one of the many factors. See, any action you do, it is not that you are the sole agent of action. When a doctor does the surgery, he is not the only person involved in the surgery. Anesthetist is there, the nurses are there, so many, the operation theatre staff is there, so many people are involved, you are one of the factors. So always see, I am not the sole agent of any action. So many factors have to take place. See, now I am talking, but this mic has to work, electricity has to be there. So many factors are required. So I am one of them. And one more attitude which can dilute your Kartrutvam is, keep saying Nimitta Bhava. I am instrumental in doing this. I am Nimitta. Ishvara is the Mahakarta. I am Nimitta. Thus, you dilute your Kartrutvam and then negate by Jnanam. Similarly, Bhoktrutvam. Any pleasure and pain, if you look upon them as a prasada, then your Bhoktrutvam will be diluted. You develop the attitude of prasada buddhi, means there is no resistance to what has happened. It is raining, it is causing some trouble. It is a prasada, Ishvara's prasada. If some comfortable situation has happened, it is a prasada. So more you develop the attitude of prasada buddhi, your bhoktrutvam will be diluted. Similarly, your karayitrutvam, that you consider yourself to be the cause for making others behave in a particular way, that karayitrutvam you can dilute by saying that, really speaking, anybody does anything not because I am saying. Really, this is the fact. Anybody does anything because they see some benefit in it. Really speaking, nobody obliges you. Don't think anybody obliges you. Anybody does something because of your instruction, because they see some benefit in it. Even if you say, no, Swamiji, they are doing because they are afraid of me. There also they are seeing benefit. Because if we do it, we will be spared from the punishment. Therefore, they are doing finally for their own benefit. So don't assume yourself to be karayita. Everybody does because of one's own interest. And as long as they see their interest, they will do it. When they do not see interest in listening to you, they will not listen to you. If somebody thinks that I don't care, if he keeps me in this job, I will do, otherwise I will go other job. So he will not be that sincere because he doesn't see so much value in this job. So he is just waiting for another job. Therefore, he will not do the way you expect him to do. So this thing should be very clear to us. People really do things because they find some interest in it. So if you really want anybody to do anything for you, you make them see the benefit they have. Nobody can oblige you, even momentarily they can oblige you, that also for their interest. In long run, everybody does for their own benefit. So you make them see how it is good for them. Then only they will do. So therefore don't assume the role that I am causing them. No, but nothing. Only thing they are seeing their interest and you happen to be organizer. That's all. Don't assume so much role of being organizer, etc. Then similarly Bhojayita. That Bhojayita means considering oneself to be responsible for others' pain and others' joy. Swamiji, I make them suffer, I make them enjoy. Really speaking, you are only a nimitta. You should not take charge of somebody's happiness. You can say, I will do what is to be done as a husband, as a wife, as a son, as a daughter. I will do what is appropriate for me. But I cannot take responsibility of making anybody's happy. Finally, everybody's happiness or misery depends upon their own karma, their own attitude. You might have seen some people, however much you do, however much you provide, they will always have some reason to complain. Some reason. Whatever you do, they will find some reason to complain. So you cannot make them happy. So don't take charge. You should do what is by duty as a son, as a daughter, as a spouse, as parents. That you focus on your duty. And because of your thoughtlessness, you don't become the cause for their misery. That much alertness you should have. Don't take charge. So Bhojayitruttvam also you can dilute by proper attitude. Now, in the next shloka, Bhagavan is telling that Atma does not take anybody's right action or wrong action. Only because of delusion, people have got this kartrutvam and bhaktrutvam. That is said in the next shloka. Na datte kasyachit papam na chaiva sukrutam vibhuhu ajnanena vrutam jnanam tena muhyanti jantavaha. Vibhuhu means the all-pervasive Atma or Atma which is manifesting in various ways. Kasyachit papam na adatte, does not take up, does not get associated with the papam, wrong action of anyone. Nacha eva sukrutam, he does not take up any good action. Means wrong action or right action does not have any real connection with Atma. But then how come I am thinking I am doing, I am enjoying, etc. I am doing punyam, I am doing papam. Why this type of ideas are there? For that he says, Ajnanena avrutam jnanam. By viveka jnanam, by understanding of the discrimination between, the difference between the self and non-self is avrutam, is veiled. By ajnanam, by the veiling factor called avidya, avrana shakti of maya. So because of that self and non-self which are distinct, but the knowledge of the distinction between the two is veiled. And therefore what happens? I consider myself to be as good as the body is, as good as the sense organs are, as good as the mind is. And all the activities of the body, mind, sense complex, I transfer on me. That is said here, tena. Tena means because my vivek jnanam is covered by ajnanam, therefore jantavaha, all jivas, muhyanti, are deluded. And what type of delusion? Aham karomi, I am doing this. And aham bhokshe, I will enjoy this. I will make him do this. I will make him suffer. All these type of wrong conclusions are there, because of which there is suffering. In the vision of Vedanta, you are always free from any action. Action is happening at the level of the body, mind, sense complex. You are the witness. That is the truth. But you identify with this body, mind, sense complex, and all the activities of the body, mind, sense complex you claim. All pleasure and pain you claim, and therefore suffer. It is something like, when you are going by car, and some under bridge, this bridge comes. Then after, when your car is going under bridge and bridge is which are low, so car, you think that car will hit the top. So car may hit, but you duck inside. Inside the car you are there. It will touch only the top of the car, but you are identified with the car. Therefore, what happens when you are going under the bridge? You duck. Why it happens? Because you are identified with the car. If at all hitting happens, car will be touched, but you feel that you are touched. That's what happens. So similarly, this body mind sense complex is like a car, and your consciousness manifesting through this car. But what happens? You identify with this car, and you have this kartrutva, bhoktrutva. What happens to the body? You consider it happens to me. When car has got the dent, you feel you have dent. I think I might have told this one person, he had given his house on rent, and the tenant, he doesn't care for the house, no, so he is putting nail everywhere. So the house owner, he came and told him, he says, when you are putting the nail there, I feel you are putting on my heart. Don't do it. It pains me. When you put the nail on the house, on the wall, I feel that you are putting the nail on my heart. Why? So much identification with the house. People have so much identification with the car. If some child something it does, that Delhi or somewhere it happened, that person was finished. Car scratch or something happened, person was killed. That much is there. So identification with the car is so much. Then imagine how much identification will be there with this body. Car is away from us, still we are identified. How much identification. And because of that, we suffer. So that's it. Tena muhyanti jantavaha. Because of that, there are so many wrong conclusions. Then what is the solution? In life, you should not keep on talking about the problems only. There are some people, they are called doomsayer. So they always, they talk about problems only. If you tell them, no, that, oh, if this problem is there, you do this. He said, I have a headache. So you take this medicine. Oh, but this medicine causes acidity. Then you take antacid. No, this antacid affects my digestive system. What to do? For every solution you give, he will present some problems. They always like to talk about the problems. And I have seen some people, they talk about the problems, not that they want solution. In fact, I learned very hard way. I used to offer solution. Then I understood that people don't want solution. They want sympathy. They want you to tell, oh, you have so much problem, I have so much problem, you are suffering. People don't understand how much pain you are having. I really understand you have a lot of problems. That much only they want. Otherwise, all the solution which you can tell them, they already know. They all don't think that they don't know. They know it. But they always see some problem in every solution. And they want a problem-free solution. Means they want a solution which will not have any problem. And in this world, problem-free solution does not exist. There is no solution in the world which will not have possibility of some problem. Like every medicine has got possibility of side effect. Even crocin has. It's supposed to be very innocent medicine. It has. Even Ayurveda medicine will have, only thing it is mild and not research is not done. Therefore we do not know. There is no solution in the world which does not have possibility of problem. You are feeling lonely. What is the solution? Get married. Solution. But is each solution free from problems? No, that has got different problems. So marriage solves some problem, but it creates some other problems which you did not have as a bachelor, which you did not know that this problem can happen. So you got into it. Then it will have it. But does it mean that Swamiji, I take sannyasa? Sannyasa is good. Sannyasa also has problem. You ask some sannyasi, Pujya Swamiji went to Uttarkashi some years ago, and some sannyasi told him, don't take sannyasa. Pujya Swamiji, I even didn't ask them. Pujya Swamiji didn't ask him. That person on his own, he told that don't take sannyasa. So many problems are there. So no solution is without problem. So therefore, I am just giving as a practical thing I am telling, you always think about the problem sufficient enough to think about the solution. Your thinking about the problem should be a tool to arrive at the solution. Not you think about the problem for the sake of it. Then you become depressed. Not only you become depressed, you depress others also. Swayam depressed, Anyan depressayati. So that's what happens. This fellow, wherever he goes, he start talking about his problems. Even in party, he will talk about his problems. So he is spoiling the mood of the party. And therefore, Shastra has got this very balanced approach. Talks about the problem, talks about the solution. You should not talk too much about the problems without having eagerness to come to the solution. And remember that no solution will be perfect solution. Only Atma is perfect. And Atmajnanam is the solution. Atmajnanam is the solution, but in that also people will find some problem. In the vision of Vedanta, Atma doesn't have any problem. But in that also people may find problem if they don't understand what Atma is. So in the next shloka, the solution to the problem of samsara is given. We will read Jnanena tu tadajnanam yesham nashitamatmanah tesham adityavajnanam prakashayati tatparam. So here Bhagavan says, the problem of samsara is because of ignorance of your true nature. And ignorance can go only by knowledge. Therefore, knowledge is the solution. That's what he says. Jnanena tu. Tu means, however, on the other hand, jnanena, by knowledge, born of Shastra and Acharya, Upadesha, tad ajnanam, that ajnanam which is creating the delusion and problem, that ajnanam, nashitam. Nashitam is destroyed. Yesham, for whom? So, for whomsoever this knowledge about the self, Atmanah Jnanena, by the knowledge of the self, Ajnanam Nashitam. By that, Atmanah Ajnanam, the ignorance of oneself is destroyed. So, by the knowledge of the self, the ignorance of the self is destroyed. And then what will happen? Tesham, for such people, for whom ignorance is gone, Tad Jnanam, that knowledge, Adityavat, like the sun, Tat Param, that highest reality, Prakashayati, reveals, will keep on revealing. Once ignorance is gone, knowledge person has, then person keeps on claiming this reality. Once you have got Jnanam about yourself being limitless Brahman, then it will continue to reveal that reality. It is not that once Jnanam has come and after 15 days again you have to get Jnanam. Once Jnanam has come, it will keep on revealing this reality. And that revealing the reality will keep you free from samsara. So just as the sun reveals all the objects, visible objects on the earth, similarly this Jnanam reveals the ultimate reality as oneself. Tat param prakashayati, the highest reality it reveals. So by Jnanam, the highest reality is revealed and ignorance is destroyed. When ignorance is destroyed, you become free from ignorance-born problem called samsara. And in the next shloka, various stages of this pursuit will be given, which we will see in the next class. Today, this Navaratri, the chanting and puja is there, so we will go and participate there. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Next week we have got this Puja Swamiji's Samaradhanas. So we will have one program in the lecture hall from 11:45. Sorry, 12 to 12:30. 11:45 to 12 o'clock we will be having puja in Guru Tirtha. So this class will not be there. So our next class will be on the 20th October.